Hello, welcome to a live watercolor tutorial. Today we will be painting a pumpkin together. If you're watching the live stream, feel free to say hi in the chat box and where you're from and if you've ever painted a pumpkin before. If you're watching the replay, feel free to do the same thing in the comments below. Hi, Leia. Yeah, I was having technical difficulties and I'm glad to be back and fix those issues. Hi, Annette. Good morning. Hi, Kai Arts. I'm doing good. How are you? Good morning, Jessie and Diana and Liz. So before we get started, I will go over my supplies that I'm using. So here I have a watercolor sketchbook. This is from Etcher. And the brushes I plan on using are my Zen Art brushes here. I have a size 9 and 8 round brush. And then I also have some silver black velvet ones that are smaller. This one's a 4 that I might use too. And there is an outline for you in the description of this video to download and transfer onto your watercolor paper. So what I did, I used a light pad and then I used these watercolor pencils to trace my outline from Faber-Castell. And there's also a reference photo in the description of this video. And then the paints that I plan on using, basically you need some kind of orange, maybe like a yellow, a brown, and then like a black or Payne's gray. And then I might use this titanium white. I'm not really sure yet if I will, but I have, I can't ever pronounce this right, but it's Isodoline Yellow Deep from Holbein. It's basically like an orange. And then I have this Yellow Deep from Senlier. And then I have this Gold Ochre. This one is from Da Vinci. And then Titanium White from Daniel Smith, Payne's Gray from Daniel Smith, and I have Sepia, also from Daniel Smith. Hey guys. Hi Patty. She says, I'm happy you had technical difficulties. Had to do a bunch of nursing duties on my husband. Well, I'm glad then that I had technical difficulties. Hi Kizzy and Kelly, good morning. Sarah. Leah says, I've never painted a detailed or realistic one. I'm excited for this one. Hi Elham. I'm good, how are you? Okay, so let's get started, shall we? I'll probably move my camera a little closer for you. Okay, here we go. So I have my reference photo up beside me on my tablet, and I'm thinking that we'll first use the wet and wet method for this pumpkin. I kind of wish that I did not draw these lines with a watercolor pencil because using the wet and wet method, I kind of wish I did it with pencil so that I can still see the lines after the wet and wet layer. So I'm just gonna kind of erase some of these. It's my mistake. I wasn't thinking ahead. So I'm just gonna quickly take a pencil here, draw in these lines. Okay, have you guys ever painted a pumpkin? I feel like I already asked that. I've been painting some gourds lately. Does that count? But an actual orange pumpkin, I've never painted really. So this is new to me. Okay. Kai Art says, way more. Oh, you're having a bad week again? I'm so sorry. Love and Life says, hi Allison, I'm so excited for pumpkins in fall. I am too. So excited. All right, so we want to take a fairly large brush because for the first layer, we'll just do a wet and wet method. And it's important to have your paper taped down. So this is a sketchbook, so I use masking tape and I just like taped my pages together. And then I have like this band here. But you'll want to secure your paper on your surface. And we want to mix like a light orange yellow color. So I'm going to take some water here. Okay. I might wipe off some of my palette first. Okay. And I think I'm going to take some of this isodoline yellow deep from Holbein. I wish I knew how to say that word, but it's basically like a yellowy orange. Then we want to add a lot of water to it because we want this to be very light. So I'm constantly like dipping my brush in my water jar, adding water, a little bit more color, more water. And then I also want to add a little bit of other kinds of yellows and oranges. So I'm going to get a few other colors ready. So I'm going to get this yellow deep ready from Senlier. So I'm going to grab some of this yellow deep, put it over here, add a lot of water to it. So yeah, I'm basically getting a yellow ready and an orange ready. And I'm constantly adding more water to this. Okay. And then I want to get a brownish, goldish yellow color. So this is gold ochre. And I'll just add this here. And I might add some of this sepia to it. I couldn't find my burnt umber, so I'm going to use sepia instead. Add a little bit here. So it's kind of like brownish yellow. Okay. So I'm cleaning my brush. All right. Hi, Allison and Chatra. Good morning, Shelly. Jonna Lee, hi. Annette, hi. She says she says that she never painted a pumpkin and that she's going to try. Patty says, I've painted pumpkins, but not a realistic pumpkin. Allison says, I painted one in my terrarium for the terrarium challenge. Oh yeah, I remember that. Kai, oh yeah. Why was your week bad? Kai Arts, Sarah says that she's never painted a pumpkin before either. Okay, so let's go ahead and first start with the orange that we mixed. So actually I'm gonna try and mix as much as I can. One of the struggles I have with watercolor is never mixing enough of a color. So I'm just adding more water to this. Okay, so I'm taking my size 10 round brush here, loading it, and then I'm gonna use my size 8 round brush. I'm just gonna get this ready. Okay, so I'm gonna add another color to this brush, maybe this yellow. So taking this yellow, and this brush will have yellow in it. So I'm just getting this ready to dab on some other colors. All right. Here we go. So we just want to fill in this whole entire pumpkin with this light orange. You want to kind of work fast so that we can still add some other colors to it before it dries. It's okay if you get it kind of on the stem too, it's fine because the stem is going to be pretty dark. So yeah, I'm trying to work fast here. Okay, that's pretty good for the first layer. Now I'm just making sure all of this is wet. And then I'm going to take this other brush that had yellow in it, and I'm going to dab some yellow in here. Okay. Mainly around the outsides. Now, we do want to make sure we don't add too much. We still want this very light orange to show in some areas for the highlights. Okay, and then I'm going to take my size 8 brush here and grab some of that brown yellow that we mixed. I'm going to add that at the very bottom and just kind of let that blend upwards. And I'm just trying to refine the edges a little bit. Kind of going outside of my outline here on accident. Okay, I'm going to take that brownish yellow and then add some at the base of the stem. Okay. So there's the first layer. We'll let this completely dry. Okay. I'm gonna take a minute here and read some of your comments. Jane says, "Good morning, everyone. I've not painted pumpkins in acrylic before. Wait, I've painted pumpkins in acrylic before, but not watercolor." Hi, Madavi. I probably said your name wrong. I'm sorry if I did. Kai R said, "I haven't painted pumpkins yet." Kelly says, "I painted a face on a real pumpkin. Does that count?" I don't know if that counts, but I guess it could. Jenny, hi. Yeah, Jenny, we were having technical difficulties. Um, hi, Lee Awesome. Kai Art says, okay. Yeah, see you later. Love and Life says, "I painted a pile of different colored pumpkins and gourds last year." Oh, that sounds fun. John Lee says that they have a class, but we'll be back in an hour. Okay, see you later. Thank you, Elham. They say it's looking pretty already. Well, thanks. Okay, now let's go ahead and do the first layer on the stem. So if you look at the reference photo, the stem Has like white in it, gray, maybe there's a hint of blue in it, which I'm just now seeing. Some blue, maybe even a little bit of orange that reflects from the pumpkin. So we want to have the first layer be kind of like a light gray. So I am going to take this titanium white here with my size 8 round brush. So I'm just going to take this. I already have some white gray that's kind of going on right here on my palette, so I'm just going to add it here with some water. And then I'm going to add a little bit of Payne's gray to it. Okay. So this is kind of the color we're going for, a very light gray. Okay, so now, now I kind of wish I didn't draw these lines with watercolor pencil. Oh, it's fine. I should have just done it with pencil. All right, so I am making a mistake. So this gray is blending into this orange. I don't know what I was thinking. So if you're doing this, I would leave a little bit of white of your paper. Oh my goodness. Unpainted in between the orange and the stem for now. Or just do this, when your pumpkin is dry. All right, you guys got to see me make a mistake. Darn it. So I'm just kind of filling in this pumpkin stem with that gray. And then I will show you how I will fix this here, okay? So I'm cleaning my brush. And then I'm just gonna drag off some of this here. Okay. I know my pumpkin does not look good right now. We're like in the ugly stage, so bear with me. Bear with me as we get past this ugly stage. All right, I'm making it even uglier. So this is basically the first layer. We want to wait until it's fully dry now before we add more to the pumpkin. So to make your pumpkin dry quicker, you can use a hair dryer. So I will probably go get mine real quick. Okay, guys, so I'll be back in like 30 seconds. Okay, I'm back. I'm just plugging in my hair dryer. Okay. Annette says, no mistakes. So much pressure. Okay, I'm going to mute my video as I use my hair dryer to dry this pumpkin. Okay, I'm back. All right. So now we're ready for the second layer. And with this layer, our pumpkin will look way better. Jessie says, I painted pumpkins in watercolor, but I use liquid watercolors, not tubes. They behave a little differently. I find them easier when doing wet on wet techniques sometimes. Yeah, I don't really have much experience with liquid watercolors. Hi, I'm probably gonna say your name wrong, but Cernira? Um, they say, good morning, everyone. Thank you for teaching us, Allison. You're welcome. Hi, Shauna. It's good to see you. You're welcome. Okay, Jenny says, oh, that's not a dumb question. She says, do you use cool or hot air to dry? I just use hot air. Okay, now we want to mix an orange. Okay, so this time when we mix an orange, it's going to be more opaque, so not as much water. So I'm going to take my size 10 round brush here, and I'm going to take some of this orange that I have that I used for the first layer, and I'm just going to add it here to my palette. And yeah, this time it won't have as much water. To make our pumpkin realistic though, if you really look at the reference photo, this, like the pumpkin, it doesn't have, like it's not super saturated like these colors. So we should add a color to it to like dull it a little bit. So you can like add gold ochre like this here, or like sepia, or a little bit of brown to your orange. So I am going to add some of this sepia to it. Okay, wait, that's way too much. I'm gonna add more of this orange. Okay. So we'll start adding this color to some areas, and I will be working with two brushes. So this brush here will have my orange that I just mixed. This one here, my size 8 round brush, will just have water in it, and I will be blending with this brush that just has water. Hi Joyce, good morning. Hi Steph and Olivia. Okay, so I'm gonna take that orange. Let's start this way. Okay, I think I'm gonna start more like on this side. And I'm first going to paint in that line that we see, and then kind of the outer edge. Okay, switch to my brush that just has water in it. I'm gonna blend this line up towards the stem, and then blend this over here, up until this line. And then I'm just gonna blend what I have left of this down. All right, so then I'm gonna go switch back to my brush that has that orange color. Now I'm gonna paint in this next line. And then switch to my brush that just has water. I am cleaning it right now, dabbing it on my paper towel to soak up any excess. And then I'm going to blend this up towards the stem, and then this way. And then down. Now I don't want this to be too dark, so I'm going to kind of wipe some of this away in between those two lines. And we're just going to repeat this. And then I'm going to blend on this side too a little bit. So, do you guys like to carve pumpkins? Do you enjoy that? Is that something you do every fall? It is something my family and I do every fall. Um, but to be honest, I don't really enjoy carving pumpkins. I just do it to spend time with my family. Okay, then I'm going to blend on this side too. I think I'm going to add a little bit more orange over here. Okay, kind of blend that. This line kind of, if you look at the reference, this line kind of fades away right here. Annette says, I prefer to eat the pumpkin, pies, breads, etc. Oh, I'm the same. I much prefer that too. Okay, so if you're just joining me, we are adding this pink color, then switching brushes. We're switching to a brush that just has water in it to blend the color. So this is my blending brush. Patty says, I always had my kids paint on the pumpkins. That way I could use the meat for pumpkin pies. That's a good idea. I need to mix more of this color. So again, it was basically orange with some like brown. I'm using this Isodoline Yellow Deep from Holbein with sepia from Daniel Smith. And yeah, we're not mixing a lot of water into it either. Jenny says, I don't like cleaning them out, but it's fun to carve the faces. Yeah, I feel like cleaning them out is my least favorite part. Our pumpkin is starting to actually look like a pumpkin, so that's good. Katie says, I came a little late for this one. Can't wait to try it later. Well, I hope that you enjoy this tutorial. Allison says, I used to carve pumpkins when my kids were young, but now I would much rather paint them. Yeah, me too. I've painted on some pumpkins, and I prefer that over carving them. I think I'm going to add some of this to the outer edge. Okay, and the reference photo up here is very light, but I'm not going to paint it like that. Just going to kind of do my own thing here. Liz says, I had a pumpkin to finish on a painting I started over 20 years ago. Looks like I set up a still life and I recognize the tablecloth from that time period. And she says, I grow pumpkins. I do not carve them. I don't like that. I do scoop them out after roasting and make pies. I've made pumpkin pie before, but not from an actual pumpkin. Like I used canned pumpkin. I used to love pumpkin pie. It used to be like my favorite pie, but now it's I don't like it as much anymore. I don't know why. I guess I prefer like apple pie. Coconut cream pie is my favorite though. That's my favorite pie. Do you guys like pumpkin pie? I know in some countries they don't eat pumpkin pie. So Okay. All right. As we get to the top here, the lines are more like, it's hard to explain. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Okay. I feel kind of out of it today, if you can't tell. Shelley says, I used to love carving pumpkins with my family as a kid and roasting the seeds after. Now I like decorating them and using them as inspiration for painting. Liz says, the still life has an elf owl. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that sounds really cool, Liz. Hi, Chatra. She says, your one looks so natural. And she says, mine is looking like a plastic one. Aw. I'm sorry. If you want your pumpkin to look more realistic, you can add brown to it, not just orange. So if you look at the reference photo, there's like brown in the shadows and stuff. So if you add some browns to it, it'll look more real. All right. Now we're going to add even more depth to this pumpkin. So I'm cleaning my brush, and I think I'm going to switch to my size 4 silver black velvet. I'm going to be using my blending method again, probably throughout this whole rest of the what am I trying to say? Throughout the rest of this painting. So I'm probably going to apply paint with this brush, blend with this brush. Actually, I changed my mind. I'm sorry. We're going to add some more color to this pumpkin first, and then we'll add some more shadow and depth. And I just lost my reference photo. I accidentally clicked on something, so I had to find it again. Okay, so if you look at the reference photo, there's like some orange here, maybe a little bit of brown orange in areas like down here. Over here looks like there's more of like a vibrant yellow, probably from the sun. I think I'm first going to add a little bit of this yellow here in some areas. Hi, Fallon. She says, hi, Allison. I'm late, but I'm here. Looks great so far. Thank you. Glad you can make it. So yeah, I'm taking this yellow. Now I'm going to add this in a few areas on this pumpkin. Not too many areas. So I'm going to probably add some here and then switch to my brush that just has water. Going to kind of blend that. Okay, and then I'm going to add some maybe like here. Switch to my brush that just has water, blend. Oops, I messed up right there. Oh my gosh. Guys, I mess up like a lot when I paint. So if you do too, you're not alone, okay? So yeah, I'm just kind of doing my own thing. Not really going strictly off of the reference. I'm gonna add some yellow here, blend. It's good to add some like different kinds of yellows and oranges and like browns, because that will really help make your pumpkin look more real, and it'll give it some more interest and depth. And I'm going to try and keep a lot of the middle area right here that light color, so that there's a highlight. And let's see, I think I'm gonna add some yellow here. blend. So after we add more color and stuff, then we'll add more shadow and depth. Liz says pumpkin pie with fresh pumpkin is better tasting, in my opinion. Oh, I'm sure it is. I am sure. Okay. Maybe I'll make that as one of my goals this fall, to make pumpkin pie with fresh pumpkin. Not canned pumpkin. Okay, I'm gonna add some down here too. All right, so now we want to mix another color. I think I'm gonna add some more orange to mine. So I'm gonna take this orange that I have. Elham says, I love buying fall decorations. I know, it can be addicting, can't it? I try to limit myself. And if I buy something new to decorate with fall, to get rid of something else. That usually helps because I don't want to have too much stuff, I guess. Okay, now I'm going to add this orange in areas. So I'm going to add some maybe here. And then again, switch to my blending brush. Maybe like right here. So as I'm adding more and more color, I'm really trying to keep in mind to preserve some of that light layer, because we don't want to paint over all of that first layer. I'm going to add some orange down here at the bottom, especially since the bottom will be pretty dark. Allison says, you're making me want to put up my fall decorations. Yeah, I'm definitely wanting to get mine out. It's still pretty much summer here. Like, usually we don't have fall weather until maybe the end of September. But most likely it mostly starts like in the beginning of October here in northern Indiana. Is it starting to feel like fall where you guys are from? Or is it still pretty much summer? Or if you're like around Australia, like over there, or somewhere else in the world. Maybe it's different. Oh, that was my stomach. I don't know if you guys heard that. I'm hungry. Okay. Right. I do want to add a little bit more orange. Maybe at the base of the stem. Okay. So as you can see, I have some highlights here. I'm trying not to paint over those. I probably should have left some over here too, like more, but it's okay. All right, there's that layer. Next, we'll add some shadows. I'm gonna have a bite of my snack. Liz says, don't overdo. Allison, we need you. Okay. And it says, looking good, Allison. Thank you. Shelly says, sadly, I've got to run. We're up in Whitehorse, Yukon, teaching and servicing sewing machines. The drive along Alaska Highway was inspirational with wildlife and fall colors. Ooh, I bet it was. Oh, that would be so pretty. Chatra says, mine is looking better now. Good. That makes me happy. I'm glad. All right, now we want to mix a shadow color. So if you look at the reference photo and the shadows, it's kind of like brown, brownish gray, brownish orange. So I'm going to take this gold ochre. This is from Da Vinci, but yeah, there's gold ochre, I think, in any kind of brand. Or just take orange, add a little bit of brown to it. And I'm going to take the sepia, add that. This is kind of the color we're going for here. So it's like a orange brown. Then again, I'm going to work with two brushes, one to paint, one to blend. Patty says, I wish I could stay and paint with everyone. On my way to teach my friend how to sew, then caregiving duties for hubby and mom. I'll post my pumpkin tomorrow. I can't wait to see it, Patty. I hope that you have a good day. Okay, so now adding shadow. I think I'm first going to start at the base of the stem, and my pumpkin is still kind of wet right there. And yeah, we do need to paint in the stem a little bit more. Okay, and then I'm going to take my blending brush, kind of blend this. And then over here. Okay. And then I'm going to start over here, work my way around. So we are painting in those lines. Now, it's important when we do this step to not add as much of this brown orange because we don't want to dull our pumpkin too much. So we don't want to like blend too much into our pretty colors we have going on. Okay, and then I'm going to add some to that outer edge here. Okay, and if you look at the reference photo, some of the lines, like part of them, just aren't very, what's the word? Like they don't show up as much as other parts of the lines. So to help make our pumpkin look more realistic, it's good to have some parts of the lines kind of fade into the pumpkin and other parts not. Like so. Like here I have more of the line, and then it kind of fades up and fades down. Now at the bottom though, if you look at the reference, the lines are very dark. So you want to paint that in and then paint the very bottom. Sarah says the pumpkin is looking amazing. Thank you. Oh, sunsets today is beautiful. Nice and cool. Beginning to feel like fall. Nice. Yeah, today where I am, it's actually going to make pretty cool. And tomorrow it's going to be even more like cool and fall-like. But I think it's just like, I don't think it's going to stay that way. Okay, I'm going to add some of this down here. By the way, if you guys don't know, right now I'm hosting an art challenge on Instagram. It's called the Fall Fungi Art Challenge. And I linked about it in the description of this video if you'd like to check it out, or just find me on Instagram and then you'll be able to find the prompt list. Are any of you guys here doing that Fall Fungi Challenge? feel like my video just cut out a little bit. I hope that you guys can hear me. Fallon says, you just had one of our hottest days of summer this past weekend. There were heat advisories and everything. Yeah, it was so hot where I am. And yeah, we did have heat advisories. It was terrible. But now it's like cooling off, thankfully. Elham says, actually, in Egypt, there is no fall weather. Yeah, I bet there's not. Rachel says, huge thunderstorm here in Kansas City this morning. Really dropped the temperature. Susie says, been missing getting to join. Thanks for all you do. You're welcome. Hi, Trish. Thank you. She says your pumpkin is looking great. Diana says that she is doing the challenge. Best. She says I'm doing it as best as I can to fit it in. And then Rachel says she's doing the challenge. Okay. Once we're done adding this color, we will work on the stem, probably finish up the stem, and then we'll go back into this pumpkin and add more detail and depth. Fallon says that she is doing the challenge, and she said, I just finished my second mushroom yesterday. I needed to post them. I can't wait to see them. All right, it is time to do the artist spotlight. Okay, so we're going to take a minute break from painting this pumpkin as I spotlight one of you guys. You ready? Okay, so let me hook up my camera. So if you're new to my channel, every time I go live, I spotlight one of you guys who used my hashtag AllisonLyonArt tutorial on Instagram. So if you use that hashtag when you post one of your paintings from one of my tutorials, you have a chance to be featured. And I am going to bring up the artist who I'm featuring here. Just have to bring up her Instagram. This tablet is really slow, so it's taking me a while. Come on, okay. All right, so the artist I'm spotlighting today is Hannah. I'm not sure if she is here today. She usually is here, but Hannah is who I'm spotlighting. So if you want to support her art Instagram, I linked it in the description of this video, but she did my last tutorial here on YouTube, which were these layered fall leaves. So she did that. And then she's also part of some of my classes. and she did my butterfly challenge, and she's part of my butterfly class. So yeah, she does beautiful work. So if you want to support her, her Instagram is below in the description of this video. Okay, let's continue this pumpkin. Here we go. Okay. Anna says that she's trying the fall fungi challenge, but she's having trouble drawing them. Aw. Yeah, it could be challenging. It's okay to find a photo and just like trace the outline of it. I do that a lot if I have trouble drawing. All right, so time to paint in that stem. So in the first layer, we mixed a light gray. Now the second layer, we are going to mix a dark gray. And for my gray, I'm using Payne's Gray here from Daniel Smith. And I'm going to use my smaller brush, my size 4 round brush, Silver Black Velvet. I'm just going to add it here on my palette. And I'm not going to add too much water, only enough to make this easy to apply. Okay, and then I'm going to have my size 8 round brush here from Zen Art ready with some water in it to blend. I'm first going to start with this outer edge here. So I'm just going to apply this dark gray, Payne's Gray, like so. And then switch to my blending brush. Okay. Then I'm going to paint in that next line that I see. All right, I'm gonna wait to paint these lines. I feel like, I don't know. Because this is all wet now. So if I try to paint here like a line, it'll just like blend out because it's wet. I'm going to wipe some of this away right here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and move down to the underneath side of the stem. And then blend. Okay. The stem is like harder than I thought it would be. Then there's like a dark shadow like right here. Kind of leads up. another shadow like here. Okay. Then I know right here is supposed to be light, like in the reference, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do my own thing. Make that dark. And same with this. Then I'm going to kind of paint in this shadow, like so. Okay. How are your guys' pumpkins coming along? How's it going? I'm going to move to the this area. There's like a shadow here. I'm going to paint kind of like the underneath side, the stem. Switch to my blending brush. Okay, I messed up right there. Got some paint outside of my stem, but it's okay. It's fine. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and move down to the base of the stem. Yeah, it looks like a lot of you guys are doing the fall fungi challenge and enjoying it. Yeah, I can't wait to see all of your guys' mushrooms. Chatra says, my pumpkin looks nothing like yours, but no two pumpkins are alike, are they? Yeah, you're right, Chatra. It's okay. It'll be fine. I'm sure your pumpkin looks great. Okay, so I'm taking that Payne's Gray now, and I'm going to add it to the base here underneath the pumpkin, or the stem. Underneath the pumpkin. Underneath the stem. Okay, and then I'm going to switch to my blending brush here. Blend. Okay. There we go. Hi Heidi. Heidi says, I'm starting the fungi challenge. I have the first 3 drawn out, so I'm ready to start painting. That's exciting. Okay, I'm going to take Payne's Gray again. Now I'm going to go back into the stem because a lot of it is dry. And I'm going to paint in some detail like these lines. Like that. Okay. And I'm gonna paint in some like little specks here and there. Okay. Cleaning my brushes. And it says, oh, okay. I think you guys are talking about something else. Trish says, I'm working on my Scarlet Elf cup right now and having a hard time choosing my colors. Yeah, I painted mine yesterday. Do you guys want to see it real quick? I painted mine with gouache though, on black paper. But yeah, I'll probably post it later today. Okay, we are almost done with our pumpkin. We just need to add a little bit more depth and detail to it. So I really want to kind of make these shadows really pop. So let's go ahead and mix a dark, like brown color, or with a hint of orange in it. So I'm taking sepia here, adding it to this area. Then I'm going to take this gold ochre. All right, maybe a little bit more of this. I'm going to blend with my size 10 round brush. Okay. I'm going to add this mainly at the bottom here, okay? So I'm going to start like right here. Blend. Now we don't want to blend too far up because we don't want to like muddy up our beautiful orange and yellows that we have. So we don't want to blend this too far up here. Okay. Sorry, I keep hitting my phone. Okay. So I apply that shadow and then I blend with my brush that just has water in it. I think I'm gonna add some over here. And I think I will go ahead and add some over here. Okay. Well, it says, I have no idea what kind of paper I'm working on. Definitely not watercolor paper. It's about 140 pounds, but it has torn edges. Huh. Like for the pumpkin, Liz? Trish says, looks great, Allison. I'd like to try gouache. Yeah, I really like gouache, but you know, not as much as watercolor. But it was fun to do something else other than watercolor. Fallon says, choosing the colors for my Scarlet Elf Cup was hard for me too. Trish, I'm thinking because every reference I saw was slightly different. Yeah, I had trouble too, especially with gouache, because I'm not really used to gouache. I'm going to add some of this now around the base of the stem, a little bit into the crevices here. Okay. Oh, okay. You're Liz, you were talking about your still life. Okay. Fallon says, oh wait, I already read what you said. Chatra says, as usual, I drew out 5 pumpkins. It's just a pumpkin, I thought. It's going to be easy, I thought. I'm cheering for you, Chatra. It's okay. You can do it. Just do one of them. You don't have to paint all 5. That's a lot. Okay. We're almost there. Okay. I'm gonna put a little line back there that kind of just fades. Okay, so I'm cleaning my brushes now. Now it's time for the final touches. You can add some more color if you want to your pumpkin. Like, I might add a little bit more of this orange in some areas. You can add some like specks on your pumpkin to make it look realistic, like more realistic. I'm gonna add some of this orange here. Can add maybe even some green in some areas on your pumpkin if you want. That'll make it look realistic. I mean, I guess there isn't really any green in pumpkins. Maybe some have green. Okay. I'm gonna add some here, I think. Cleaning my brush. Hi Ashton. I'm happy to see you. She says, happy long weekend. I'll paint this later, just popping in to say hi. Yeah, guys, happy Labor Day weekend. If you're in the US, I think it's just a US holiday. Am I right? Okay, I'm gonna take some of that orange that I was using. I think I might add a little bit to the stem. I like to do this sometimes to just help bring parts of my painting together. Okay, maybe I added a little too much. It's fine. It looks fine. Okay, I'm gonna take some sepia. And if you want, you can add some like little specks here and there. Dirt specks. Dab them with a blending brush if you want to. Can add sepia or burnt umber or brown, whatever, to the very, very bottom to really make it pop off the page. Although I kind of added too much. Okay. All right, I think I'm done. Cleaning my brush. What do you guys think? Did you enjoy this tutorial? Let me know in the chat box, and if you're watching the replay, let me know in the comments what you thought of it. And don't forget to use my hashtag AllisonLaneArt tutorial and tag me when you post it to Instagram so I can see it, because I would love to see it. let me say goodbye to you. Yay, I'm glad you guys liked this tutorial. It was fun. I feel like I could spend a little bit more time on my pumpkin, but it's okay. Like, maybe I'll add a little bit more to it, but it's pretty much done. So, yeah. I guess I could add a little bit more shadow around here. Like right there. Maybe I'll do that and add a little bit more at the base of the stem, but I'm so hungry. I think it's time for lunch. Bye guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. It was fun. I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. And yeah, thank you. I'm glad you guys liked it. Thank you. Thank you, Trish. Trish, she says, your pumpkin stem looks so great. Thank you, Trish. Liz says, oh, okay. Yeah, a before picture would be nice. Thank you, Annette. Oh, I'm so hungry. Thank you, Elda. Jane. Thank you, Leah. She says, this is the last live that I can paint along to. I'll be teaching at this time next week. Oh, I'm gonna miss you. Fallon, thank you. Liz says, I really liked this tutorial. A painting I have had hanging around for decades will be finished soon. Yay! Good. Hi, Chatra. I'm glad you liked it. Thank you guys. I appreciate you all so much. I'm gonna go eat lunch because I am starving. And I will see you in the next video here on YouTube. And maybe if you're doing the challenge, I will see you for the challenge. It's a lot of fun. Visit Fall Fungi Challenge on Instagram to see everyone's mushrooms and find me on Instagram to find the prompt list. It's a lot of fun. It's happening all throughout the month of September. I also made a mini class for the challenge that's optional. I linked that in the description too. And okay, bye guys. Bye.